Today, I'm sharing 10 American habits that I genuinely admire as a Turkish person and wish were more common around the world. As a side note, when I say American, I'm specifically referring to the United States, not other countries on the North and South American continents. These American habits have personally made my life a little brighter and more connected since moving to the United States. We know that no culture is perfect and there are always things we can learn from each other. And these are some of the good things I've noticed here. If you're new here, hi, my name is Özge. I'm originally from Turkey and moved to the United States a few years ago. As someone who grew up in a completely different culture, I have experienced so many little culture shocks, but also culture smiles, if that makes sense. Before we get into the habits, I just want to mention that I live in the Midwest, so my experience in the United States might be different from others. Every part of the country and even each state can feel really different, so these are just my personal observations. Let's get into the 10 American habits I wish everyone had. Habit number 1, calling people by their first names. In Turkey, we are very formal. We often use titles like aunt, uncle, sister, or teacher to show respect. But in the States, people use first names so casually, no matter the age or position. At first, it felt really strange, and to be honest, it was even a little bit disrespectful to me. But over time, I realized it's actually a way of building closeness and comfort. When I first moved here as an au pair, I couldn't bring myself to call my host family by their first names because they were a little older than me, and if we were in Turkey, I would have called them something like Sister Katie or Brother Henry out of respect. Or when I was working as a graphic designer in my college's marketing department, I called my boss and even my boss's boss by their first names. At first, it made me really uncomfortable because if we were in Turkey, they would have probably expect me to treat them like royalty out of respect. That was definitely my experience when I worked as a school counselor back home. Here though, it's normal to call everyone from your doctor to your boss by their first names unless they prefer otherwise. I've grown to appreciate that kind of informality because it makes things feel open, friendly, equal, like we're all just human at the end of the day. Habit number 2, being supportive and encouraging. I absolutely love how Americans cheer each other on. Whether it's someone starting a new business, going back to school, or simply trying something new, you'll often hear things like, "I'm so proud of you," or "You are doing amazing." That kind of emotional support really matters. At first, I actually thought people were just being fake nice because I hadn't experienced that before. I assumed they were just saying things to sound polite, but over time I realized it's not about pretending everything is perfect, it's about lifting each other up. I have always been hard on myself, especially when it comes to my English. I never feel like it's good enough, but I've been working on changing that mindset and being kinder to myself. What really helps is the support I get from people around me. They're always proud of how far I've come and encourage me to keep going. And honestly, hearing native speakers say my English is really good gives me a huge confidence boost. Habit number 3, punctuality. Being on time is a big deal in the United States, whether it's for work, a dinner, or even a casual meetup. At first, I didn't think showing up 5 to 10 minutes late was a big deal, but I quickly realized that time is treated with a lot of respect here. It shows that you care about someone else's schedule and that you are reliable. Honestly, being more punctual has helped me feel more prepared and confident as well. Habit number 4, making appointments for everything. In the United States, people really value each other's time, so they tend to plan everything in advance. Whether it's a haircut, dinner, or even just a phone call. At first, I was surprised, like, why do I need an appointment just to talk? But over time, I started to see how it helps people stay organized and avoid last-minute stress. In my country, things are a lot more relaxed. I can call a friend pretty much whenever I want, except late at night, unless we're really close. Another example is that walk-ins are welcome at most businesses. When my husband and I went to Turkey to celebrate our engagement night with my family and take our engagement photos, I got all dressed up and just walked into a salon downtown. I told them I needed a haircut and my nails done, and they immediately seated me and took care of everything without an appointment. I'm not going to lie, I miss that kind of freedom, but I also understand that in the United States, appointments are a way of respecting everyone's time, including your own. Habit number 5, saying hi to strangers. One of the first things I noticed in the United States was how people casually say hi to strangers on the street, at the store, or even just walking by. It's such a small gesture, but it creates a warm and welcoming vibe. In many cultures, including mine, we usually avoid eye contact or keep to ourselves unless we know the person. So at first, it felt strange to greet someone I didn't know. I was used to saying hi only if I had a reason to. But now I picked up the habit and I love how it instantly makes me feel more connected to the people around me. Habit number 6, being optimistic. Americans tend to be really positive, even in difficult situations. Of course, not everyone is like this, but overall, I've noticed a strong culture of looking at the bright side. As someone who often overthinks and worries a lot, this attitude is refreshing and encouraging. Phrases like, "you got this," or "it'll work out" might sound cliche, but they actually help, they give hope. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content about cultures, languages, and life as an immigrant. It really helps me grow this channel and reach more amazing people like you. Habit number 7, obeying safety rules. Americans really follow safety rules like wearing seatbelts, using helmets, or stopping for pedestrians. Where I'm from, these things aren't always taken seriously. But here, I notice how these little habits show care, not just for yourself, but for others around you. It's not about being scared, it's about being responsible, and I truly admire that. Habit number 8, loving their privacy. Something I've learned is that many Americans really value their privacy. They might not share every detail of their lives right away, and that's not them being cold. It's just a part of having personal boundaries. Things like knocking before entering a room, not asking overly personal questions, and simply enjoying quiet time alone are seen as normal and respectful. It taught me that not everything has to be shared to feel close to someone. Habit number 9, celebrating small wins. Americans love to celebrate not just birthdays or big holidays, but small wins too. Getting a new job? Let's go out for dinner. Finish the tough project? You deserve a treat. This habit helps people stay motivated and grateful for progress instead of waiting for huge milestones to feel good. And lastly, habit number 10, friendly customer service. Customer service in the United States is generally very warm and helpful. People greet you with a smile, ask how you're doing, and often go out of their way to assist. But it can be overwhelming if you're not used to small talk. At first, I struggled with it because it felt unnecessary and a bit awkward. But over time, I realized that small talk is actually a way of showing friendliness, approachability, and making others feel comfortable. Of course, it's not perfect everywhere, but compared to many places, the friendliness here can feel like a breath of fresh air. It makes even the quickest errands feel a little more pleasant. So those were the 10 American habits I wish everyone had. They may seem small, but they have made a real difference in how I feel and live day to day. I would love to know what are some habits or cultural traits you admire from another country. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!